Welcome back, everyone. This is Christy Walters with the Why and the Why podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today for this week's Monday Musing. If you haven't joined us before, our Monday Musings are just a little snippet of something that's on our minds, maybe something that you can take action on during your week, but it's 5 or 10 minutes of just something that we're musing on for this particular week. And what's on my mind right now is understanding your ecosystem. And this has come up for me for some reason quite a bit over the last few weeks. And several interviews that we've done, Luis Rivera is one that comes up right away for me because I recognized it in our conversation as he was talking about getting the right people at the table at the right time, and how many times they were walking away in the beginning from opportunities simply because they missed an opportunity to bring in additional departments and sell everyone involved in the buying process. And I think this is this is indicative of something that many of us do in our sales organizations, is that we get really hyper focused on the initial buyer. So it's that, where it's all about buyer persona in marketing speak, and understanding what is it who buys from you? What do they like? Where do they hang out? What are the elements that are going to influence their buying decision? And most people stop there. Building a buyer persona is hard enough for a lot of companies. So taking that beyond the buyer and understanding both direct and indirect influences on that buyer and on the buying or selling process, it's just too daunting. It feels that way for a lot of people. And this is probably a little bit more marketing speak than it is sales speak, but I think it's really critical, because when you look at some of the success stories we have had for people over the last several months that have come across us at the Why and the Buy, there's one thing that comes to mind every single time, and that's the fact that these people understood their market inside out, backwards, forwards, and diagonally. And that means there was not an influence that they were not at the very least aware of, if not figuring out a way to influence that individual as well. So for your business, it could be something as simple as you have an ecosystem that includes colleagues, partners, customers, and competitors, and maybe some social influencers as well. But there's a message for each one of those individuals inside of your ecosystem. There's a connection or a relationship that needs to be built with each one of those individuals inside your ecosystem. My personal application in my business, if you've listened to us over the last couple of weeks, you know that I've been going through some business coaching of my own, meaning I have been getting coached on my business and really starting to focus in on where my time goes and what is truly revenue generating and what isn't. And more importantly, really kind of honing in and focusing on who is my ideal buyer. What group of individuals do I relate to most effectively, and what pain point can I share from my own experience with those buyers? And so it's a little challenging for me, because I am a small business owner. I am a corporate executive. I have been a sales leader. I have been a bag carrying sales professional. And so in, small business terms, I'm thinking, heck, I'll sell to all of them, right? I will sell to everyone on that list. But in reality, I need to narrow it down. I need to have a very specific target market in order to be effective and targeted in my selling process. And so I'm spending some time on my ecosystem. So if my target market, for example, is small business owners who are in some form of transition, Maybe that transition is they're moving from a side hustle to a full-time hustle. Maybe that transition is that they have developed a successful business, but they are still trying to lead that with a corporate mindset. There are going to be a lot of direct and indirect influencers inside of the ecosystems for each one of those buyers. So I'm really thinking a lot about this idea of building out the ecosystem. And I want to challenge you to do the same. And I hope this has made sense to you. It hasn't felt like it rambled a lot. But if you think about all of the influences that your business experiences and your buyer experiences in doing business with you, how are you interacting or affecting those influences? Because I can tell you, you are not the only one. Your client is just not only going to connect with you. They're not only going to take their cues from you. So at the very least, you need to be aware of where they are taking those cues. And if you want to take it a step further, you have to figure out how you will influence them. So that's my rather deep Monday musing for this week. I hope you found this helpful. And remember, when you understand your why, your hows and your whats get much better. Don't forget, everyone, if you want to connect with us, we love connecting with our listeners. We've even been known to jump on video calls and do a little bit of side coaching with you as well. So please do reach out to us, info@thewhyandthebuy.com. Join us. We have our monthly live book club discussions. Also, at the end of every month, the one for March will be on March 27th at 1 p.m. And that is, we're going to be discussing Building a Story Brand by Don Miller. If you're looking at this on YouTube, I'm holding the book up. But Building a Story Brand by Don Miller has been highly, highly recommended by several of our guests over the last few weeks. And so that's going to be our target for our book club discussion in March. If you want to join us, go to thewhyandthebuy.com and click on the newsletter or the book club registration link and follow the instructions. That's it for me, everybody. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. See ya.